I've got about 30 different microphones here with me today, and we're going to let you hear a bunch of these, but not all of these are going to make it to the video. The ones that are not worth your time are not going to get onto the video. If you want to be able to hear all of the differences, make sure you put on your best set of headphones. If you're a YouTuber, a vlogger, a podcaster, any type of content creator, I truly feel that these are some of the best microphones you can get, starting at $25 and going all the way up to $1,000. The one I'm talking on right now, I'm going to save this for last because there are some issues I really need to go over, but the sound is phenomenal. I'm going to let you hear all of these microphones that are worth your time and point out any flaws that they might have during the video. I will put links for each one of these microphones in the video's description, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Remember, these microphones are all designed to be right in front of your face, not off camera somewhere, or they're going to sound a lot like this. Alright, this is our first microphone, the Behringer XM8500 dynamic microphone. This will run you about $25. It actually sounds really good, and it comes with this hard plastic case filled with foam. Look at this, 25 bucks. This is probably the absolute best value you can get if you're trying to find a good mic on the budget that's going to sound great. You might want to check this one out. This is the Samson Q2U dynamic microphone. You can use this on XLR or USB, which is great. This one will run you roughly $50 to $60 depending on where you find it. This is one of the most highly recommended cheap microphones out there, but mind you, it has a lot of resonance. If I tap on the desk, if I tap on the boom arm, that's pretty bad. So you might want to get yourself a shock mount. You can find a nice dynamic microphone shock mount that'll probably run $10 or $15. Besides having the resonance issues, the overall sound quality of this microphone is very good. I love the way it sounds. It sounds great on my voice, and 50 to 60 bucks for a microphone that can be used on XLR or USB, you can't beat that. The next microphone we're going to look at is the Maono PD200X. This will run you between $60 and $80. It can be used on USB or XLR. I think it's kind of got that broadcast sound to it. It's just a very nice microphone. If you tap on stuff, there's not a whole lot of resonance, so that's a good thing. The shock mount works pretty well for the most part, but all around a great microphone that you can get for $60, $70, $80. Next up, we have the Shure SM57, which is a dynamic XLR microphone. This is in fact the most popular microphone in the world. It's really designed to mic up instruments, but it works great for vocals as well. This is probably a professional quality microphone. I mean, it's definitely a professional quality microphone that will run you between $80 and $100. There's a little bit of resonance here. Nothing too bad. I would still probably want to get myself a nice little shock mount for this. They do make cheap dynamic microphone shock mounts, but overall, this is a killer microphone. Probably one of the best bangs for the buck for $100. This is what it sounds like without the foam windscreen. It's going to be a lot brighter, but bottom line, awesome, grade A, top of the notch microphone, top of the notch, you know what I mean. But let's move on to the next one. This is the Samson G Track Pro. This is a microphone that sounds really good. It is a USB condenser microphone, but it's got one major problem, which is resonance. If you're going to get one of these, I would highly suggest a shock mount because every little tap or touch is going to make all kinds of noise. But the overall sound is amazing. You can actually plug a guitar into the back of this. And there's some really cool things about this. It's got changeable polar patterns, so you can make so it picks up from the front and the back, or all the way around. I normally see this somewhere between $99 and $139 on Amazon. This microphone is big. This microphone is heavy, but for a USB condenser microphone, the sound quality is great. This is the Maono PD400X. This microphone will run you roughly $150, sometimes less. This is a XLR or USB microphone, which is really great. It's got a lot of nice highs. Some people compare this to the RE20. Personally, I don't think they sound similar, but some people think they do. If you tap on the microphone and the boom arm and the desk and stuff, the resonance isn't really too bad. It does a great job at rejecting that stuff. But for something in the $150 price range, if you like the sound of this, it's definitely worth the money. It's got kind of a well-rounded sound, decent lows, decent highs, decent mids. Let's go ahead and move on to the next microphone. This is the TechZone Audio Stellar X2 condenser microphone. This is an XLR microphone. It will run you roughly $200. I think this sounds great if you're looking for a condenser. Remember, if your room's not treated, condenser microphones will pick up all the reverb in the room. They'll pick up the birds chirping outside, people talking in the next room. So make sure you want a condenser before you buy one. I think for most get people, the dynamic microphones are better, but condensers are more detailed. They do sound better overall, but you need the right environment to record on to use a condenser. So if we tap on the thing here, we're not really getting any resonance. The shock mount on this thing is doing a great job. Tapping on the desk, nothing's going on. This thing sounds great. You can't beat it for $200. It's just really an awesome microphone. So let's go ahead and move on to the next mic. Next up, we have the Lewitt LCT 440 Pure. This is becoming one of the most popular condenser microphones out there. This thing will run you about $280 or so, at least last time I looked, and this thing sounds great. If you like the sound of this one and you need a condenser mic, this thing is awesome. Now, if I tap on this one, I do hear a little bit more resonance than I did on the Stellar X2s. This is a microphone that is just very, very high quality. Very, very good. Again, it'll pick up every little sound, the birds chirping outside, the people talking in the next room, so make sure you want a condenser. This is the Senheizer MKE600 shotgun microphone, and there's something really special about this one. This is designed to plug into your audio interface or directly into your DSLR or mirrorless camera. This particular microphone will run you about $300, and these are the microphones you see on movie sets and television shows. Shotgun microphones were mainly designed to be used outdoors. There are several reasons why shotgun microphones may not be the best choice for indoors, so definitely do your research on shotgun microphones before you decide to buy one. And this is how the Sennheiser sounds when it's mounted on top of a camera. Let's go say hello to my little friends, the birdies, and see how they're doing today. Everybody say hello to the birdies. This is a audio test of the Senheizer MKE600 on camera. These are great sounding microphones, but like I said, please do your research before you buy one for indoor use. This is the Shure SM57B. This is one of the most popular microphones in the world when it comes to YouTubers, podcasters, and stuff like that. Everybody's using these, but honestly, this thing will run you about $400 now. It recently went up in price over the last year or so. And when you look at how good something like the Shure SM57 sounds, that would cost you $100. It's known for being very bassy, very warm. It's got that radio broadcast sound, and if you get up really close to it, it's got a heck of a proximity effect that really gives you that deep voice. I once heard somebody say, my 6-year-old daughter sounds like Johnny Cash when talking on this microphone. The one major plus about the Shure SM7B being a darker sounding microphone is it's not really bright, meaning this won't be fatiguing on your listeners' ears. Some of the brighter microphones that have a lot of high end, after somebody's listening for 10, 20, 30, 40 minutes, sometimes that can really start to be hard on the ears if the microphone's too bright. This microphone's not bright at all, so it's easy on the ears, which is great. That's the one thing I really, really like about it. Just don't boost up the bass anymore because it's already a very bassy microphone. Some people will try and boost the bass up even more, then it gets really muddy and hard to understand what you're saying. So you don't need to boost the bass on this one. Now the next microphone, this one will run you $1,000. This microphone's not mine and I don't have it here with me. I had to go to my buddy's house. He was a big meanie and would not let me borrow it, but he did let me go to his house and make a quick audio recording of what it sounds like. This is the Senheizer MKH416 microphone, which sounds very, very similar to the MKE600. This one's got a little bit more high end and a little bit more bass, but they sound very, very similar overall. This one will run you about $1,000, which is a very crazy price to pay for a microphone, but hey, does it really sound that much better? Let's go back to the MKE600, which is the $300 version of the Sennheiser shotgun microphone, and that really doesn't sound all that much different, does it? I mean, is the other one like $800 better? So there we have it, a whole bunch of microphones ranging from $25 all the way up to $1,000. I really like all of these microphones. I think each one of these would be worth buying depending on what budget you have. This 5th generation Rode NT1 microphone is probably the best bang for the buck. I mean, it definitely has groundbreaking features. The sound is super good, and for $250, I mean, this is one of the best microphones out there. Voice actors have to use approved microphones. Like when they're sending in auditions to try and get a voice acting gig, they are usually required to use specific microphones. And the Rode NT1 is usually on the list that is approved to be used for recording those voice acting gigs or voiceovers. This shock mount with pop filter system is really amazing, but unfortunately it is really heavy and this just sticks so far out of the front. I'm telling you, it's poking you in the chest when you're sitting down. If you're standing up, it's not an issue. I put this microphone in a different shock mount because the stock one was giving me some issues. Right now I'm using this microphone on the XLR connection, and there's one other major flaw. When you have this on the USB connection, there is no headphone output, so you can't plug a set of headphones directly into the microphone to monitor it. Every other USB microphone I've ever had allowed you to plug a set of headphones into it, so that's a huge flaw in my opinion. Anyways, there's going to be a link to every one of these microphones down there in the video's description. There's also going to be some links to where you can go get some Waves plugins, so if you need some audio editing plugins to dial in that pro quality sound, check out the video's description or the pinned comment. If you found this video helpful, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We would appreciate that a lot. You'll also find some links to my other YouTube channels, my Discord server, and a bunch of other stuff down there in the video's description as well. So drop that thing down, check that thing out, and we will catch you next time. Lighting out. See ya. Thanks for watching.